Well, huge Zinchenko injury boost and he's back. He has also gone ahead and obviously confirmed that he's obviously back in what we call full Arsenal training. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Looks like as Julian Timber has confirmed, or Arsenal confirmed to us, that he might be out for several months. Looks like Zinchenko is back and obviously get ready to do the job that Julian Timber has been doing for Arsenal ever since they signed him in the month of July. Smash the like button close to 400 times and don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see to it that we hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month. I know all this is possible and it's courtesy of you, the viewers of Rokani Media Football. Now, we're having lots of things to talk about. Martin Odegaard contract in the pipeline. Arsenal working about it. What is the latest? Because we last heard about it in the middle of the holidays or the preseason when Arsenal announced the contract of William Saliba, and here we come to obviously talk about the contract situation of Martin Odegaard and what Charles Watts, the former Arsenal correspondent for goal and very many others, has gone ahead to let us know. And lastly, we talk about Tierney situation, looking like Arsenal are obviously standing their ground and Newcastle's plan looks like has to be ready. They have to find means obviously getting in this guy because they need a left back at their team. Now, we thank God for the gift of life and we cover you all with the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living true God bless you abundantly. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu fikum, and may Allah see you throughout today. Now, we are having Simon Collins, who the first to obviously confirmed to us yesterday that Alexander Zinchenko is now injury-free but missed the entirety of the preseason, and it remains to be seen whether the Ukraine is deemed ready to start away at Crystal Palace next Monday. That is it. And Zinchenko is really injury-free and has been taking part in the Arsenal different training sessions and is ready to obviously come out and obviously put in what we call shift that is really well desired and obviously well called in for at the club of Arsenal. And he's one of the left backs that Arteta really loves a lot. Defensively, he's always a suspect, but he's well exposed because whenever he's on the field of play, he gives Arsenal a lot of ball control and possession. And it's always a big miss where they don't have him, and it's always going to be a big miss where they're not having him and Julian Timber on the field of play, because that was one of those things I was really waiting to see this season, but it looks like it might not be seen, as Julian Timber might be even out, might be out for the entirety of this season. And to me, I understand that Arteta is now scratching his head on whether to make a decision on Zinchenko returning on the field of play or not. And Zinchenko took to his Instagram and posted that photo as you see it there, and he confirmed us that great to be back. That's what he put up on his Instagram, and he was with his fellow Arsenal players as you see them there. I see Balogun in training, I see William Saliba in training, I see Fabio Vieira, I see Reece Nelson, meaning that Reece Nelson is also back. Remember, he has been injured and never went to the American tour. Aaron Ramsdale in the mix. Albert Sambi is also back. Then Zinchenko and Tomiyasu. This is the winning team of yesterday's training at Arsenal, and Zinchenko is fully back into the mix at Arsenal. So that is really a very huge boost, and we wait to see in the game of Crystal Palace whether Zinchenko is obviously going to make it into the match squad of Arsenal, and that will be confirmed to us by Mikel Arteta on Friday, because he's going to be holding his press conference on Friday, though the game is going to be played on Monday. And on Sunday, we'll also get to know the traveling squad to the side of Newcastle, to the side of London, as they prepare to play Crystal Palace, because Crystal Palace is also in London. Remember, Arsenal went ahead to win, I think, almost all the London derbies London derbies last season, and they kick-start it off with the first one of Crystal Palace. And remember, even last season, Arsenal started off with Crystal Palace's derby in London. They won it by 2-0. So we wait and see how that pans out, but it's a very huge boost that Zinchenko is back in Arsenal training, and you'll obviously understand that his return is obviously good news to all Arsenal fans all over the world, because he obviously found himself in a position of not playing the entire preseason. And guess what? No sooner had this guy Julian Timber injured his axial muscle of the right knee than Zinchenko really reported on duty. That is a very huge boost into the Arsenal side, and I think Arteta is obviously trying to fix him in the game they're going to play against Crystal Palace. So wait and see whether he's going to be part of that game, but obviously wait for the match preview. I think either on Friday or Saturday, as far as that fixture is really concerned. Now, we get on to the next one. Remember, the left back position of Arsenal has lots of competitors. Julian Timber, who is really injured and out. Zinchenko, who is a returnee from injury. Tomiyasu, Jakub Kiwior, and very many others. Tierney is one whose future is still hanging in balance, and the Myth of Sky Sports has gone ahead and thrown in a latest important update about Tierney's future at Arsenal. He has told us that Arsenal and Newcastle are in contact over the transfer of Tierney. The club want a permanent sale instead of a loan, which is preferred by Newcastle. That is what Keith Dorn is going to let us know. So for Tierney, it's one of those deals that you obviously have to wait and see until the end of the transfer window. That is the 1st of September, because teams are really interested in him. West Ham has also joined the queue. Real Sociedad also wants to sign Tierney, but the reason as to why Arsenal are not giving a chance to Newcastle is simple. Newcastle want what we call a loan with an option to buy. That is it. But Arsenal want what we call a permanent deal, because they want to get in more players. As I told you, the injury of Julian Timber has obviously forced Arsenal to obviously go back in the market and get another defender, obviously, to sign, because even though all the defenders were viable, Arteta felt it like he needed the versatility of Julian Timber in his team, because Julian Timber could play well in the right-sided central defense. He can play as a right back, left back, and in the midfield. So I don't know which kind of defender he's going to go in for, but it looks like he's really in need of one. So for Tierney, I think for him and Arsenal, it's totally over. It's totally over, because you've seen these games, especially when Zinchenko has been injured. He was not given a chance to start. Even in the Community Shield game, he came off the bench after Julian Timber played close to 70 minutes. And he came on the field of play. Then after Arsenal started off their season in the Premier League by beating Nottingham by 2-1, he was not even named on the bench, meaning that there are a lot of activities being taking place at Arsenal to see that Tierney leaves, and the coming back of Zinchenko obviously shows you that Tierney is not in the plans of the manager, because the manager prefers to play Tomiyasu, Zinchenko ahead of him and Jakub Kiwior, even though Julian Timber is really injured. So it shows you that he's not loved at the club, he's not wanted, though Arteta is trying to obviously hold it the best way. But Tierney's time at Arsenal looks like it's over, and is going to obviously be sold to another huge club. And now let's talk about let's do something concerning Arsenal and obviously their captain, that is Martin Odegaard. A story has been put out there that Arsenal are really trying to step up their efforts to obviously get this man on paper and obviously sign his contract. It's being reported by Charles Watts. Charles Watts was a former correspondent of Arsenal for The Goal, and he now has his own website where he goes ahead to obviously put the news. Now, he was talking to the Team Talk website, and he had the following to say about Martin Odegaard. Remember, Arsenal have gone ahead to issue new contracts to William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, to Martinelli, to Gabriel Magalhaes, Aaron Ramsdale, and they're trying to obviously keep their craft intact, and they don't want to see it really move anywhere and be threatened by other clubs that want to come in through and obviously threaten their teams. Now, he first said Arsenal are stepping up attempts to reward Martin Odegaard with a new long-term contract. Talks are now taking place following the recent deals for Ramsdale, Saka, and William Saliba. That is what we went ahead to say, that attempts to reward Martin Odegaard with a new contract are in talks in there for you. Now, he went ahead and said Arsenal want to keep their best players. He's absolutely their best player. They are now in talks to get it done as quickly as possible, but sometimes this can drag on for season, but they're definitely talking with his people. Now, I'm very much gladdened that an Arsenal correspondent is regarding Martin Odegaard as Arsenal's best player, and obviously there is no doubt that Martin Odegaard is. Martin Odegaard is the best Arsenal player. Love him, hate him, he's the best player at Arsenal. And what shows that he's the best player at Arsenal? You know, what he does, he's one of the best in the world. As per stats, as per his talent, and what he's going to hate to put up on the field of play ever since he joined Arsenal. I know he was at Real Madrid, and Arsene Wenger tried to seduce him by buying him chips and chicken to come and join Arsenal. Then he snapped Arsenal for Real Madrid, but obviously I think he regrets that time. You know, the reason as to why he went to Real Madrid was that Real Madrid told him, we are going to pay you £50,000 a week, and Arsenal were not willing to match that one. That's why his father decided that Martin Odegaard should go for Real Madrid. But if in 2015-2016 Martin Odegaard came at Arsenal, I think would have gone ahead to turn into one of the best players in the world. And 4 years before he made 21, he would have gone ahead to be one of the best. But obviously, would Arsenal have kept him, or they would have gone ahead to sell him? So I think it's a two-way traffic, and it's a double-edged sword that Odegaard is not coming at Arsenal when Arsene Wenger was there. It was really a blessing in disguise that they've gotten him when he has gone ahead to grow, and he's one of the best midfielders in the world. It's a domino effect that when he rejected Arsenal, then Arteta saw him and obviously signed him on loan, and then he came in later on a permanent deal from that side. But Arsenal trying to really get him an improved contract. It's in his clause. When he signed from Real Madrid, he was earning £87,000 a week, and Arsenal had a clause that if at all he performs very well, he's going to obviously be increased in his salary. And I believe he's going to be earning close to £200,000 a week at Arsenal, and I think his team is obviously pushing for that, to it that everything really gets back as their plan. So guys, your thoughts on to huge Zinchenko injury boost are welcome in the comment section. Then tell me what you make about Tierney. Would you want to stay him at Arsenal or leave? And lastly, Martin Odegaard contract talks are on, and Arsenal are really trying to talk to the entourage of Martin Odegaard to it that they obviously get the best out of the player. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living true God bless you abundantly. Ciao, ciao, and my Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum, and the rest, may Jesus Lord see you fulfill your positive endeavors today.